Teenager attends a fantasy writers convention where he discovers his idea has been stolen by an established novelist. This is the Cult Faction Podcast, episode 135, Gentlemen Broncos.
Superman.
So, welcome everyone to the Cult Faction Podcast, episode 135, Gentlemen Broncos. I'm your host tonight, Brett Summers, and joining me as always are...
Check one.
What are you doing, Paul?
I'm quite liking this little...
We've started.
Yeah, the fans love it. That's what we're about, isn't it?
Fair enough. Well, you're joined by me, Damien Hicks. There you go, bro. I've answered your question.
Check one. Yeah, and
if we're going to do that for the entire podcast, I'm kicking you out of the room. I think I can do that.
And as you might tell, then we are testing out new technology this week because we can't all be together. But as opposed to ditching off for another week, we thought, no, Zoom. Yeah. You chase the days away.
Worry for another day. That indeed. Well, we are back together, and we are here, as I say, for episode 135, which is on Gentlemen Broncos. It's been a while, gents. How are we all?
Living the dream. Living the dream.
As Patrick Swayze would say, ditto. Well, he wouldn't say it anymore, but
no, he wouldn't. No,
he did in the past.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think if there's anything exciting that's happened in the last 3 weeks. And I think the answer is no.
Oh, really? We've been in the studio.
Yeah, they want to hear that.
Yeah, I found it exciting.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's some good, laying down some good tracks. But
it's bad back for the last few weeks.
That's true, yeah. Oh, see, I did, yes. Yeah, I went to hospital. When was it?
You went to hospital?
Yeah, last week. So, I remember a couple of months back, I thought I had carpal.
Oh, yeah, you're getting tests on your hands or something.
So I had it all electrodes and stuff. Yeah, electrodes all picked up to my... It was great. Proper electric shocks. You sort of, let me just move the thing. I'll give a demonstration. Sorry if you're listening on a podcast, on an app that's not visual. But, yeah, so it, put some stuff on my arm, and it goes, right, I'm going to press a button now. Your arm might move a little bit. Okay. Boom! Arm went like that. It's like, this is cool.
Did they stop at your arm, or did they?
Yeah, it's just the arm.
Full Jack Nicholson.
No, it's just my arm because basically this finger doesn't work properly, which makes playing guitar pretty difficult as well. To be fair, so yeah, I'll get the results of that soon. But it was interesting.
Ooh.
The only one that really hurt.
Weekend at Brownies.
It was. They put one up here, and Christ, that really hurt. That was painful.
I thought he was talking about a different part of Weekends at Bernie's.
No, not that bit. But yeah, that's me.
Oh, I done my second MRI. I don't know if we
told
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've had all the results back now. So that's interesting.
Come on Summer's watch. What's the verdict?
To be honest, it's loads of things. There's nothing like they haven't got to chop my leg off or anything, which is a bonus, which is good. I like my leg, and but I've got things in one bit and then different things in the other bit. I'm not gonna get it all now. And one agitates the other one, but it causes them they both swell up. So it's one bit in the knee and one bit in the thigh. So one bit gets irritated because the bit in the knee's not working and swells up, and then that irritates the bit in the knee and then that swells up.
So you got two parts of your body sulking then.
Yeah, basically they're in a feud.
Yeah,
they're getting at you, and I'm gonna have some knee specific physiotherapy, which I've already looked up and started because I got to wait for them to contact me. So I've been googling it around and what sort of things they recommend and all that. So I've started it now. Then when I see him in 6 months' time, and he goes, "Try this," I go, "Right, I've been doing that for 4 months. Yeah. What's next?"
Cool. So we got your dodgy leg, Damien's dodgy arm,
hand, really.
Is it just
actually
your finger? Is it?
It's probably the elbow. It's probably, I think there's a trap. Basically, it's a trapped nerve or something here that's stopping the whatever signals getting down properly. I don't know.
Well, you've worn it out over
us millennials, eh? We're really rocking it.
Hey, don't you call me a millennial?
Exactly.
Gen X.
Yes.
Proud.
Well, okay, so as well as falling to pieces, have we been watching anything while we fell to pieces?
Yeah, I forgot we do this bit.
So I know I said keep things short and maybe ditch stuff, but we did watch the other night I Spit on Your Grave.
Ooh, what, the original?
The original or the remake?
Oh, hold on.
Did it look quite modern?
I'd say
it look all sort of...
The remake would be in HD, whereas the original would be fuzzy.
It looks in HD.
Yeah, it's not
it was in colour. If that's
no, the original's in colour, but
yeah. Well, anyway, it was on. We just came across it on the LG store as you're looking for like the home thing or to switch, inputs and stuff. Yeah. So we ended up watching that, and I have seen it before, but I completely forgot about it. And it's one of those things that is actually quite traumatic and dark and like really.
Oh yeah.
But as I said, I completely forgot.
It's a revenge. I don't know what.
So there's a girl that goes into like the woods in America to escape in a cabin so she can write a book.
As you do.
And the locals basically, she stops off at a gas station near there, embarrasses one of the locals inadvertently. She doesn't do anything wrong. But then they decide to basically rape her. And it's got a cop involved. And she manages, it's really brutal and graphic in some of the scenes, but she manages to escape by just falling into a river where you're not sure whether she deliberately falls into it or whether she's just so blooming tired. But then there's the whole revenge thing where she manages to come back. You're not quite sure whether it's, supernatural or paranormal because some of her strength and speed increases in the second half of the film, and if it's not paranormal,
anger does that too.
Yeah, in the original, it's not paranormal, but I don't know about the.
Well, again, it doesn't. They don't, mention it's paranormal, but as I said, she's quite a slight girl, and to be lifting these huge guys and putting them in positions that she does, I'm sorry.
The original, I remember just being really brutal.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, it is brutal, but it's really. Well, I don't want to say it's a really good watch because that makes me sound bad.
Movie.
but
the original's proper.
It is a good film.
Almost snuff movie. I haven't ever seen a snuff movie. Just to clarify.
No, me neither. No, well, knowingly anyway.
Yeah. What do you mean knowingly?
Well, you never know.
Oh, okay. All right. But as I said,
John Wick may really kill those people for all I know. Not that I've seen any John Wicks.
That was one of the good ones. And just a worthy mention, and I know you guys won't be interested, but a lot of our watchers and listeners say a lot. The ones that we have may be interested in some of the sci-fi fantasy stuff as well. A while ago, we talked about Wheel of Time on Amazon and whatever it is. First two series, bit slow, bit near. They've really come back with the third one, and it's full out action and gore. It's picked up its pace, which I think it desperately needed, and they seem to have come back with season 3 with a bit of a tour de force. It's quite good. Still not exactly the same as the books, but off again.
I don't think I even bothered with the second season, so
I don't think you did.
I don't think I watched it.
Yeah, but as I said, I read all the books. Well, I haven't read all the books actually. I gave up because I was waiting for them to catch up. You know what it's like when going through a series, and there's like 6 more left to be written. George R.R. Martin, pull your socks up.
That time they made his wild cards into a TV series or something, because that was a good series of books.
The what one?
I'll leave that one to you. Wild cards, George R.R. Martin. He got other people in. It was a kind of weird sort of superheroes, but more in a kind of like it was more Watchmen like, where it was a little bit more grittier than, but not like that other one we watched where they had long hair and then killed each other.
Yeah,
what was that?
The one that Damien hated. And actually, I didn't mind too much. Do you mean the one they went back and forward in time?
It got all right at the end, and then that was it, and it got cancelled. We watched it. It was like the father and the son.
Yeah. There's one they kept jumping between the past and the future, Damien. You didn't like
and
that.
Then it turned out we were all waiting for his brother to be like the baddie behind it all.
No, I got no recollection of that.
They all wore like white cloths on and long hair that weren't wigs, clearly.
Oh, I know the one you mean now. Yeah, I remember. What was that called?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but shit.
Yeah, but yeah, no, but he wrote that like before he'd done a lot of the other stuff, and it's just like I think he got guest writers in for different characters and things. There's about 20 books, but it's still sat on a shelf somewhere. It's probably in development. But anyway, what you been watching, David?
So on your recommendation, because
that's one of my lists then.
I started to watch. What's it called? I've forgotten. What is it called?
Was it the Marlowe Murder Club?
Marlowe Murder Club. Yeah. I mean, I'm disappointed that that chef fella's not in it. What's his name? Tom
Ainsley Harriott.
No, Tom Kerridge.
I'd love that if Ainsley Harriott was in like a serious crime drama. Just turning up, shaking the pan and doing little dance and song.
I've only seen season 1 so far, though. I've only seen season 1, so I don't know what season 2's like. There's a drop off or anything.
Marlowe Murder Club.
Yeah, it's on. I've got it to watch, right?
So that's 2 episodes, isn't it? The first season.
Yeah, but they're like an hour and a half each, aren't they, or something? Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like they were sort of a pilot for, and the second season they're like 45 minutes long. I mean, it's watchable. It is
TV,
crime. Is it what?
Is it Sunday afternoon TV?
No, it's not quite that. But
you got to solve it. It's good. I kind of got how they done it, but the other bits I didn't as much because they didn't necessarily reveal all of it either. So you didn't.
I don't even remember what those episodes were now. I'm about 3 episodes into the second season.
It was the one. It was the one where it was the spoilers. There may have been more than one killer.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, but yeah, it was. No, I enjoyed it for what it was. It's just another. You can sit there and try and work it out a bit. It didn't do. Then I suddenly realised that the older lady in it was the money penny from the old James Bonds with Pierce Brosnan. Yep. And then it just felt really old again. It's just keeps happening lately.
Imagine how Pierce Brosnan feels.
Yeah. Well, when Pierce Brosnan's playing, Pierce Brosnan is now the old professor in things as well. He's not helping.
He's done a few recently where he's been like heads of bad crime syndicates or CIA or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. For me,
what about you, Sam? Is there anything interesting from you?
I will be brief. I'm currently halfway through 0 Day on Netflix, starring Robert De Niro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I saw the first one of that, but forgot to go back to it. Thanks for reminding me.
That's right. So far, so good. But I feel this is a show that will depend heavily on the payoff. If there's a good payoff at the end, I think we'll be all right. If it's something, well, basically, there's De Niro's the ex-president. He's like a retired president, and then there's like a moment for I can't remember how many hours it is, where like basically all the technology just dies dead and there's nothing, and planes fall from the sky, hospitals lose power, everything, so lots of people die, and then it comes back on again, and it's like some sort of conspiracy thing or whatever. And then De Niro, because he was like a really cool president and stuff, they're like, we need you to like come back and like lead the task force into this. And of course some people think he's being a bit too pig-headed with his investigation and going full on into it. Other people are saying, just blame the Russians, it'll be all right. And he's, no, we can't blame the Russians. I don't think it was the Russians. And he's kind of getting pushed in that direction. And lots of people you sort of recognize along the way in these programs when it's the White House pop up. I'm pretty sure one of the security guards was a security guard in 24 for some of the presidents.
Yeah,
that's how he got the job.
That's his role.
It's here on my CV. I've done it. I can do it again.
Yeah, I've played it before.
I wonder if it gets to the point where he actually feels like he could do the job.
Yeah. I mean, there are hints that things might not be what they seem and all that, and there's a bit of a sort of weird element to it. it's got a sprinkling of weird over the top where you're trying to work out what is going on
So
without trying
is
to give
that
too
part
much
of it?
away.
As a viewer, you don't know who's performed. I've seen the clips on.
Yeah,
where
we don't
there's a
know.
major
We don't know
attack.
either.
Okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is all going to hinge on the payoff.
Yeah.
If it's just something really shit, everyone's going to go, "I've just wasted like." It's only I think 8 episodes or 6 episodes, but they're all like an hour each, and it's going to be however whatever they do and end it is going to be
I think that's
what
the
it's
problem.
judged on.
And I think that's the problem with all of these things. Are they going to end it? Are they just going to try and make it drag on?
Well,
yeah, that's what I mean. And then
is
we
it
don't
called
need a
limited
season 2.
season? Is it called limited series or is it just series?
I can't remember.
I thought it was series 1.
I just clicked off it now. But they always say series 1 now because it's just a
Yeah, it's only when when
money.
they cancel it, they then call it limited series.
Limited series. One of the other things I watched just to cut through is the Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus, the Marvel series.
Is it as good as the Netflix
It's
one?
amazing. Yes,
So it keeps the same
very
tone.
much so. Keeps the same tone. There's swearing in it. There's violence. There's blood, guts, and gore. Some nice cameos. They make it. There's some nice bits where you know that it's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not blatantly, but it's like, oh, that's where that happened, or that's where that. So
Is
we're
Vincent
in the
in it?
same place. Is
Huh?
what? Yep.
Vincent's back. Good.
Who's back? Sorry.
Vincent.
Oh yes, yeah, Vincent Van der.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in. Basically, everyone's back
Cool. Okay.
in one way or another. I mean, some of them might pop up, then go somewhere else because they're doing something out of town. But they've done enough to bring them in, so we know that it's the same thing. And there's even a few little links to some of the other Marvel series and that, which have been done quite nicely. But no, it's really, really good so far. And what I really like about it is you've got some, which I think, and I'm really surprised Disney done this. To be fair, because it's Disney that have done this. You've got some kind of cops who are a bit more bit
shady.
Bit shady, but a bit kind of want to do the right thing, but will do it anyway. Bit Gene Hunt, that sort of thing. Kind of, they're not above bashing someone up to get to a quicker conclusion on a case or something
they're
like
fine
that.
now. Deadpool set the bar, hasn't he?
Yeah, but what they've done as well is that a lot of these cops have got like the Punisher skull tattoo, which was like a big political thing in America, where like people were using it and saying like, no, and it was like, do you read the comics? He would not want the police wearing this. There were like people wearing it and like police sports teams wearing it and all that, and they're like, no, that's not what it was a thing, and like trying to set themselves up. And it's got a bit. There were cops who had like the tattoo and were like killing kids on the street and handguns and choking, all the police stuff that we've seen. Like some of them have that, and that's kind of what Disney have written into the script, which is quite interesting. And I didn't think Disney would do that or let that go, but they have.
Mm.
So I'm guessing someone may appear later to avenge his symbol being misused because it's the Disney thing. But yeah, no, it's probably one of the best things they've done. My only gripe is it's every bloody week again.
Oh, I'll just wait.
So, but you've got about 6 or 7. You've got about 6 episodes now, so you've got a chunk to get into, and it's every Wednesday. But very, very good so far.
Cool.
And there's some nice bits where the Kingpin has kind of publicly gone legit and has become mayor. And it's that whole thing of right now we got to go to the opening of the garden centre, and he's like, I don't want to go to the opening of a fucking garden centre or whatever. Now we got to go and listen to the local school. The kids are going to sing a hymn, and he's like, why am I doing this? Yeah, but it's all because he's got to keep that end up. He's getting more and more annoyed at all the domestic crap that he's got to do, sort of thing, that is part of that role. And you can just see him like he just wants to crush all their skulls, but he's got to sit there and smile. And that's quite nice. He plays that very well, old Vincent does. Well, he's always been a good actor ever since he shot his head off. But yeah, anything else from you, Paul?
I didn't know whether I wanted to mention it. So I did watch A Real Pain. That was the one where it's got, what's his name? Kieran Culkin, he got the Oscar for it.
Oh yeah, he won the thing for it, yeah.
And not Jesse Eisenberg, that's Breaking Bad. What's his bloody name?
Jesse Owens.
Jesse Wallace.
Jesse Jackson.
I know it's Jesse Eisenberg. I was thinking
Jesse the Body.
I was thinking that was the guy from Breaking Bad. Yeah, there's a different Eisenberg. Yeah, so Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. So this is basically about two cousins that go to Poland after their grandma dies. Bit of a road trip and all that kind of stuff. But I'll be fair to them both. They do a sterling job of what it is. I mean, it's not exciting. It's not bells and whistles. It's literally just a road trip of two cousins catching up. But yeah, it's good.
Do they have a really fit female cousin who drives a Jeep?
No, they end up joining a more of a tour around Poland for OAPs, which is quite funny in its own right.
Damien, anything else?
I watched a couple of films. I think we might have, Paul, you might have talked about this one before. Long Legs. Did you watch? Has anyone watched that?
Yeah.
Paul did. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Paul.
I thought you had. Yeah.
This is Thingy Bob.
Nicolas Cage.
Cage Watch.
Yeah. He's brilliant, to be fair, in it.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I said at the time, this is really him showing full on Cage.
Yeah.
And sometimes in a dress.
Yeah, completely unrecognizable. But other than him in it, it's shocking. It's
just
not
let
even
down
TV
by
movie.
everything else.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And on Netflix, starring what's her name?
I don't know.
Jennifer Lopez. Atlas.
Oh, I didn't think that'd be your cup of tea.
Saturday night, decided that we weren't going to come out into the bar and drink ourselves silly, so we watch a film instead. And
you picked the wrong one.
Well, yeah, there was a choice of two. It was this one or something starring the guy that played Arrow, Stephen
Amell.
Yeah,
Amell.
Yeah, I've forgotten what the title of that one is, but probably should have chosen that one. But yeah, Atlas. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I talked about it a while ago.
Yeah, it's shit. Get what they're trying to do.
Bit of a shame because
it's a shame.
I think
again, she's good. Budget. Actually, to be fair, she's very good in it. She,
it's just a really
some bits maybe chuckle.
Storyline.
Yeah, it's just not enough depth to it to make it worthwhile. If they were trying to create an epic or a series or whatever, a franchise, that's the word I was looking for. Failed miserably, which is a shame. So you can see it could have gone somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's not a reflection on her.
We rewatched the Blair Witch Project because it was
it
30 years or so, 25 now, whatever it was. I'm not going to look at how many years it was.
25.
It's the anniversary. No, it's more than that.
No, it's 2000.
Maybe
99.
Doesn't matter.
99.
All right, so
it's old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was all right. I mean, it pretty much holds up, but you needed, it's that hype thing that it was at the time.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been anything without that.
Yeah,
and
100%.
It was a different world back then as well.
When they were the first ones.
I watched it a couple of years ago, and I was still annoyed with the things that I was still annoyed with when I first watched it. It's like, why do we need to see snot just running down her face all the time? And,
realism, Paul. It's realism.
Yeah, maybe.
And I did watch Us, which I thought was very, very good.
Yeah.
It's the one, they're a nice family having a nice holiday, and then some people that look like them turn up in the orange jumpsuits.
Yeah.
That was very clever, and there's a lot of in that. I enjoyed that, and that was good. So cool. You should watch Us, everyone. I'm just trying to be quick, and I have
got.
Oh my God! And I have something else that I'm gonna call a new section on the show. I'm gonna pull it before TV Court.
Okay.
You're going to pull what before TV Court?
I'm going to pull it before TV Court. There's a sound clip for you. Beyond Paradise, the first episode of the new season.
Right.
Have you seen it yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, it'll be a spoiler then.
Oh,
okay. So don't talk about it this week. Maybe let Damien talk about it. Watch it and talk about it.
Well, actually, I want you to watch it, and I want you to tell me why I need to. As much as I love Beyond Paradise, and Death in Paradise finale was very good as well. As much as I like Beyond Paradise, why I needed to pull it in front of TV court where it must be judged.
Okay, I will do that. I'll try and do that tomorrow. I was just going to mention I started the first. Oh, sorry. You were there. Seen the first episode of the Bergerac reboot.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's not bad.
Do we like it?
You've got to not compare it to John Nettles and everything that's gone before, but as a standalone, if you're a standalone TV drama set in Guernsey, it's fine. It's good. Damien, whatever his name is very good at it. The supporting cast is pretty decent. They've changed, so Charlie is no longer a 60-year-old cigar chomping man. He's a 60-year-old gin loving woman. But other than that,
okay.
Yeah, so it's Zoe Wanamaker's playing Charlie now instead of whatever the guy's name was. But so obviously it's his mother-in-law now instead of father-in-law. But she's still in the jet set, high rolling set of Guernsey people.
Society, yeah.
Have they got the car?
Jared's in
it. I think he will be having. So they did there was a.
Is he restoring it?
He is. He's restoring it. So there was so he's still recovering alcoholic. So they did a panning shot of him in his house, sort of laid out on the sofa, bottles around him, and it then goes out into the outside of the house, and you just see the car's got a cover over it, but you can see the fender and the
product
wheel.
placement.
So it's there. It's just not currently being used yet, but I'm sure it will.
They need a picture. They need a picture of John Nettles on the mantelpiece. I miss Dad.
So he was offered a part, a cameo in it, and he said, "No, I don't want to do it because I don't want it. I want him to do his own thing and I don't want it to be compared to that."
And I've got all that mad fat Midsummer Murders cash. I don't need Bergerac.
He did say, "I'm retired. I don't want to work," because I think he does the odd voiceover, and that's about it because he doesn't need to. So fair play.
Bit of panto.
Yeah. That's it. I think anything else, obviously, I've watched is not worthy of mentioning because I can't remember it. So,
Paul, anything for you just to finish off?
No, I think I'm done.
Okay, then. So, our spotlight today is on Gentlemen Broncos, the 2009 American comedy written by Jared and Jerusha Hess, and it's directed by Jared Hess, the man behind like Napoleon Dynamite and a few other films. It's about a teenage author whose fantasy story is plagiarized by an established author who's also his hero. Gentlemen Broncos was intended to be released theatrically on October 30th, 2009, but due to poor reviews, the national release was pulled from theatres. It ended up with a budget of $10 million, making $118,192. So it fell a little bit short.
If you were the producer, you'd be crying. That's almost like the Disney execs with Snow White, isn't it?
Yeah.
God, they're still crying. But everyone told them that, so that's their own fault. It stars Michael Angarano, who was also in Sky High and loads of stuff as a kid, as Benjamin Purvis. You've got Jemaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords, Men in Black 3, What We Do in the Shadows, as Dr. Roland Chevalier. You've got Jennifer Coolidge, Jennifer Coolidge, who will forever be Stifler's mum, as Judith Perkis, Ben's mum. And then you've got other notable, there's a lot of cool people in this, but you've got Hector Jimenez from Nacho Libre as Lonnie Donahoe, Sam Rockwell as Bronco or Brutus, depending. Mike White as Dusty. You'll know Mike, he's the guy that wrote School of Rock and loads of other stuff as well. And the late, great Clive Revill, who was the Emperor and Emperor Strikes Back, Alfred in Batman the Animated Series, and loads of other stuff as Cletus. So there's a lot of a kind of a cast of people you recognise and spot from loads of other stuff. And on paper, again, a great cast of solid performing actors. But let's see what we think. Paul.
Well, so first of all, I had no idea what this was about before you brought this to our attention. Because you normally go through memories and stuff like that, but yeah, no idea about this.
Yeah. Yep, same
Now,
here. Never heard of it.
And for also me, this was a blank spot for me. I knew it was there, and it was one of the ones I hadn't seen. And so it was a gap in between the kind of Napoleon Dynamite, Greasy Strangler kind of Beverly Loughlin type film that I hadn't
kind of
seen yet.
wish you would have done the Wikipedia checkup where it says, but due to poor reviews, the national release.
What does that matter?
Well,
what does that matter? There are a lot of films that people would say were hits that
I know,
we don't care
and you
about.
subjected us to them for the last 5 years. Just saying, anyway.
Plenty more. No, I mean, the ones
I might
people
have loved
liked.
it. Might have loved it.
But
do you want me to kick off
so no one had any memories.
No.
Okay, well let's see about the plot then. Paul, over to you.
Okay, so the artwork in the opening credits is by acclaimed fantasy and science fiction artists Kelly Freas and David Lee Anderson. Benjamin Purvis lives with his single mother Judith, who designs tacky clothes. They are really bad, but deliberately so, and makes rock hard popcorn balls. Not just popcorn balls, but also just random shapes like cars and all this kind of good stuff. Judith and Benjamin make ends meet by working at a woman's retail clothing store. Benjamin spends his spare time writing science fiction stories and has recently completed Yeast Lords, which centers on a hero named Bronco, modeled after his long-dead father. At various times, portions of Yeast Lords are seen as Benjamin imagines them. Bronco is obliquely masculine, and he valiantly struggles with a villain over yeast production. So first of all, I don't mean in a funny way, but the opening credits were brilliant because it's just a lot of artwork of comics, and they had me there. I was like, cool, this might be all right.
It reminded me of the old like Choose Your Own Adventure books and all those sorts of things, like and stuff like that. Yeah, it's some really cool stuff, and I liked it too.
I liked it too. It has a very good start. The opening credits are really cool, and
and you get it's a little bit offbeat. The popcorn thing is just a little bit weird, and the whole Yeast Lords thing is not necessarily what I would base a sci-fi franchise on. But hey,
but
they did it on spice.
You've got,
well, and I think
you've got moisture farmers in Star Wars, so why not have yeast?
Yeah, they like their spice in Dune.
Exactly. So there you go.
What were you going to say, Paul?
Well, no, exactly. Your spice wars, and obviously this is just a take on that. But they can't have spice, so they just try to come up with something funny, and that they could use later on, where they're saying things about bad breath and all that kind of stuff.
Right, Damien.
Okay, so while attending a 2-day writing camp for aspiring fantasy and science fiction authors, Benjamin attends lectures by his idol, the prolific and pretentious writer Ronald Chevalier. The character. It just says Ronald on here.
No, I know.
I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm just getting into character. Just getting into character.
The character of Chevalier is based on Utah-based science fiction and fantasy writer Dave Farland, who also writes under the name Dave Wolferton, and who conducts popular novel writing workshops and seminars. The Yeast Lords is a takeoff on his popular and best-selling books, The Rune Lords. Chevalier announces a contest for the writers in which the winner's story will be published nationally. After encouragement from fellow camper Tabitha, Benjamin submits Yeast Lords. Tabitha shows the story to her friend Lonnie Donahoe, who runs an ultra-low-budget video production company. Lonnie gives Benjamin a post-dated check for $500 and begins adapting Yeast Lords into a film. So I'm going to say this now, and I'll probably end up repeating it later, but just chucking a load of awkward, odd-looking characters and making jokes about bollocks. It's not funny. There you go.
So I think there were some, I want to say, nice touches, but it wasn't them trying to shove humor down your face, because you're right, that wasn't funny. But I did like the little bit where Jemaine Clement always has the Bluetooth earphone headset piece in his ear, but he never uses it.
Yeah, no one ever touched it on it. Yeah.
So I thought that was a nice touch. But yeah, everything else was a bit hit and miss.
It was something that should have been the whole camp thing. I think should have been like the backbone of the film, or the narrative, where he's at the camp. It's his hero. This is the guy he's looked up to. He's written his own story and he's taken it with him. And I feel like it was like played out in 10 minutes. Almost, like it was done, and it should have been, I've got to the camp. We could have had the whole walk around and meet. It just felt really rushed. A lot of things could have been developed more, of like all the different groups and subgroups that were at the writers' camp. All the different types of geeks and things like that. The meeting of him, the finally, you should hand your story in. No, I won't. Yes, you would. Yeah, go on, hand it. Oh, okay, I will then.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one.
Even the
when you find
reading
out there's
of it.
a £10 million budget, and I'm just wondering how much of that went on Sam Rockwell. But you're right. In regards to the cleats, you literally had Tabitha, who found him on the bus and was decided that she was going to take all the $40 whatever he was given by his mum and spend it on snacks for him and Donahoe. And then you had that one weird guy that just stared at him when he was in the hall, like sat next to him, was like, "What are you doing here?" But they didn't develop anything. It was literally just a means to an end, as give Jemaine Clement my manuscript and he's going to rip it off. And off you go. And he even leaves early so he can get back and help his mum out with selling stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think there was so much there that could have been exploited.
Who came first
and built into it?
Who came first, Matt Toast of London fella or Jemaine Clement? Which one of those broke fame first? My thinking is Flight of Conchords.
Jemaine Clement, yeah, but Clement's probably got it through a Flight of the Conchords being the hit it was, but Matt, I'm thinking he'd been on a lot of stuff already, because he'd already done like Dark Place, he'd already done ABCD, the Christmas Nativity, and probably loads of his albums. And that thing that still makes me laugh, I spoke about before, it turned out he was the one that did the Strictly theme as well.
Did the what?
Did you see that interview? Matt Berry was on. They were doing a panel, "What We Do in the Shadows," and it was something about like something that you've done that people don't realise is you or something. And he was the guy that done the Strictly theme. He said, "No, he said, or whatever it's called in America, it's the same theme. He said in England it's Strictly, in America it's like Come Dancing or whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
Dancing with the Stars.
The bit. That's just like, with yeah. He's like, that's me. That's him shouting that. On there, and they said, "Oh, what?" Because he was a session musician as well. He said, "Yeah." And they go, "Well, you must be rich after that." He goes, "No, I get nothing."
Yeah, got paid as a session. You get paid so he's £100 a day. And that's it.
So he probably got 40 quid for it, but 20 years ago, whatever it was now. But yeah, so he's been around, but I think Jemaine got bigger quicker, and also he's best mates with what do we call it? Isn't he? Guardians of the Galaxy and all that director.
Yeah, and he's a big Disney star.
Who is?
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah. Who? So so he's probably got the bigger profile. Yeah.
Was he in the Time Bandits? On Apple.
I want to say he was.
I think he's got something to do with that. Yeah.
I think he brought him in to do some of that.
I think they both wrote it. As well.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't.
Yeah, it's just that the characterizations and the voice he's using in that was the Toast of London, in my humble opinion. I mean, just made me wonder, because this was 2009, and I know Dark Place was 2002, something like that.
Yeah.
But
I think Matt Berry is one of those guys that's been around for a while, especially adverts and stuff like that, voiceovers and things. I think he did a butter advert at one point.
There were some nice bits. Well, maybe not nice bits. I mean, there were some okay bits, but they weren't funny. Like the bit where he's coming up with names for different characters, and you got one
put that on the end of it.
Yeah, that was quite amusing. Yeah.
But I didn't laugh. But I thought, okay, I understand why that could be funny. Yeah, but yeah.
But yeah, I just felt the whole thing was wasted into sort of like a 5 minute or 10 minute bit when that could have almost been like half the film when he finally gets to talk to him and gives him his script and then he just gets totally screwed over. And then the second half of the film is his redemption sort of thing. But
they could have made a whole,
to play out.
a 1 day at writers camp type
yeah.
thing and gone into that bit more detail. But yeah, I don't think it was rushed. It's just there was nothing, no substance to it.
Yeah. It was kind of, they had the idea, didn't write it through, but let's see what happens next then. So how do we say it again? Chevalier. Chevalier. So as Chevalier reviews the stories from the campers, he gets a call from his publisher rejecting his latest manuscript. Panicked, he picks up Benjamin's story and it sparks his imagination. Chevalier changes Paris's Bronco into Brutus, an extremely effeminate and comically flamboyant hero. He also changes the other character names and title, but otherwise leaves the story intact. His publisher loves it, and the novel is rushed into production under the title Brutus and Balzac. Portions of Chevalier's version are now seen playing alongside Benjamin's original vision of the story. Again, a really good idea, but not enough done with it. It should have at least been maybe the same scenes so you could see how they were done. And Bernard Breslau must have to pick up a paycheck somewhere because, they were blatantly him from Kroll.
Without giving too much away, it's the only bit of the film I liked is that they were exact copies of Kroll's Cyclops, and that gave me, that was like, yeah, well done, good job.
That was what led me to it. I was like, I want to see this film, but it turned out like that whole thing, which should have been the running parallel story, so it went between both. I feel would have kept people, because I think that's what they were maybe aiming for, but maybe Sam only had 1 day to film. I don't know, but it was like that would have at least kept it. Because you've had like the reality and the story, and maybe as it's changing, you could have had like a dual narrative where no, that's not what happened. This is what happens. Then it changes again, and we finally get to the. There's like two films going on at the same time, sort of thing. But
I think
even that didn't really kind of
but also,
do anything.
Even the original one with Bronco, that wasn't funny. Sam Rockwell was completely wasted. And even the completely different. I just didn't get it. You made us watch some shit over the past few years, Brett, but at least you can say they've gone full out to try and make this as
on paper, this looked good.
Oh no disrespect to you for once, but I'm just saying, if you're going to go full out, crazy, go Cage.
That's what I ended up. My favourite bits, again, not given, were the guy making it cheap. Like when he had him on the unicorn, he was just like on a float thing on the back of a car being dragged along.
What was it for originally from the other stuff?
School of Rock.
No.
He's the flatmate in School of Rock.
No, the director.
Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre.
And he did the same thing in Nacho Libre, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, Nacho Libre he didn't really talk much. He just go,
no, but he did
get hit.
Yeah. Unless he has got some impediment or something, which I
think that might be his voice, but right. I found that more entertaining in the end because it was just like on the low budget thing. Because the Sam Rockwell thing I took as it was supposed to just be cheap shit and look cheap shit, and I could get that with the joke because I thought when we get the next bit, it will be the Hollywood, because he's a super author, you're going to get the high res super version. It might be camped as Butlins, but then even that wasn't. So I thought you were going to have his sort of view of like this cheap shit thing, and then plus then you got the other guy in the middle who's doing his own one, sort of gonzo filmmaking as he's going along, just trying to make it with his $500 that he paid for it or whatever it was. Yeah, it's kind of they had so much. I often say there's so much potential, but they had so many things they could do. This could have been that sort of surreal hit they were going for, but none of it fired on all cylinders anywhere.
It either wasn't surreal enough or wacky enough. We're jumping ahead because we haven't finished it.
We haven't finished the plot. Let's get through this.
Sorry, back to you, Paul.
At the local premiere of Donahoe's version of Yeast Lords, Benjamin is nauseated to see how badly Donahoe has adapted his work and abruptly leaves the film with Tabitha. He ends up throwing up. They have a big old snog, even though he's got vomit all over his face. It's supposed to be funny. They go to the bookstore where he discovers Chevalier's plagiarism after reading a paragraph from Brutus and Balzac. Benjamin confronts Chevalier at a local book signing and assaults him with some merchandise Chevalier had offered Benjamin in exchange for keeping his theft quiet. Two policemen hustle Benjamin out of the store as he is put into jail.
So again, this was the big confrontation, or what we believe to be the confrontation at the time, and done in 5 minutes. It's, if anything, the only bit that I did kind of like was how he played it completely as a sort of cowardly piece of shit. He didn't ever try to like, I'm going to crush you or I'm going to do that so much. It was just all desperation and like, please don't tell anyone. And that kind of saved it a little bit. But
the only
fact
thing
that it was done and dusted in 5 minutes, it was kind of
the guy playing Benjamin. They don't make much of his character, but he does it exactly as they've asked him to do it.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
He's not a bad actor because he's not a good actor.
It's one of the things I was going to say. My thing is that he's the only standout performance in it. I mean, Stifler's mum just plays what she plays in everything other than she was in some drama the other day. No, she was in some drama the other day where she plays a bit more of a serious role. But everything else I've seen her in is that over the top camp crazy lady that's got an obsession,
mummy dearest kind of thing.
Yeah. I think because she was in that. I'm sure it was her. She was in the one where they opened the cupcake bakery thing. It was I don't know what, can't even, might have been two girls in a cupcake shop or something. But one was like rough and ready from the Bronx, and the other one was a posh high society girl, and they opened a cake shop. She was their landlady.
This just sounds like every film on the
Hallmark channel. It was a sitcom. It was big at the time, about probably 10 years ago. But she was in that. She was a landlady, and she was playing a foreign, like Latvian or whatever, sort of Middle East, mid European, heritage with a silly accent, and was over the top. Same character again. But yeah, going back to the guy that played the lead, it's bloody good. He's portraying the kind of mild-mannered, put upon, weak, cowardly, dare I say it, teenager. Well, not teenager, but
maybe that all changes in the last act.
Maybe. We shall see.
But it was very much at this point, it reminded me of Sorry with Ronnie Barker.
Oh, you've hurt him.
Oh, fizzy up my nose.
It is a bit like that, yeah.
It was that kind of thing. He was like the moping around. Mum comes and gets him.
How can I mute myself?
No,
I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm all right.
How long, Damien?
So I've got the needle.
Don't make jokes when someone's drinking out of a can.
I'm sorry. All right, who's next? Is it me?
Damien.
It's me. And I've got watery eyes. I can barely see. Okay. Judith comes to visit her son in jail to give him his birthday present. She hands him a box of manuscripts, all officially bound by the Writers Guild of America. Judith explains that she's been registering all his stories with them since he was 7 years old, thinking they would make a nice little keepsake for his children. Yeast Lords is one of the registered stories. After Chevalier is exposed as a fraud, copies of Brutus and Balzac are unceremoniously dumped from store shelves and replaced with Yeast Lords. The end.
So we get our comeuppance story.
Say that again.
So we get our comeuppance story.
Yeah. But 10 seconds.
And yeah, thank God she was overbearing, Mum.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah, it's just this is something that just needs to be remade. They could even keep the same cast.
I don't think you got much chance of that.
No.
Just develop it though. You literally, there's never been a film where you had everyone there in place and just, I don't know what happened. It's like they kind of wrote it on the back of an envelope and said, we'll just ad-lib this scene. And maybe that's what they did, and that's what they ended up getting cut together.
I think they had a load of shit on most of the actors, and that's the only reason they got them in. They must have had something they could blackmail them with.
Yeah, they got some photos hidden somewhere.
So this would have come just after Sam Rockwell did Moon, I imagine.
Yeah. And you've got the guy from Napoleon Dynamite and other things, so he's riding high. You've got Sam Rockwell. Everyone in it has come off of something.
Unless they were friends with the writer-director, I don't know, but
yeah,
it's just.
They've even got like Clive Revill turned up to just add a little bit of like British staunch to the scene as the was he the agent or was he the publisher? I forgot now. The late great Clive Revill now, since we picked this, he passed away this week. So, but he's just sort of, and no one in it is like a guy from a street corner they chucked in and went, "Can you go and be in this scene, please?" And it just turned out
okay. Dirty Strangler, or whatever that thing was.
Greasy Strangler.
Greasy Strangler. And I think that's what makes it worse, is that they really did have a good cast. And they had
a good idea. It's a very good idea.
Good script. But and they had a good budget, let's face it. Compared to some of the stuff that we've seen have been made on, $2. But they had a £10 million budget, so you can't even forgive them that.
Where the fuck did it go?
unless the special effects we were watching, actually cost a lot of money to make them look bad.
Yeah.
No, it probably would be. It's probably that South Park thing where they use because the South Park stuff, isn't it, is the same stuff they use for Jurassic Park, but they use it to make it look shit. And it's just like, which is fun and ironic, but when you're South Park, you've got the money nowadays.
Yeah. Well,
but I
don't
know
if not forgoing all the lawsuits that they get every week, but
yeah. They got a team. They can afford a team for that now. They can do it.
I mean, with a lot of the films, I've struggled to watch them through to the end because they've been too, not gross is the wrong word, but they've been, that kind of gross, funny stuff, which I don't find funny or gross, or it's just so surreal that I just hate it. This was me.
Either.
It was neither.
It's like
it was nothing.
They tried to do that.
I was very
and they failed. They try. You can clearly making the plot of his story around his nutsack, and then have him in the desert with the jars of smashed nutsacks.
Yeah,
and that's supposed to gross you out, but it's been done.
But if it was Greasy Strangler, you'd have seen them attach them, and you'd have seen them cut them off.
Yeah, it'd be a scene with them trying to sew them back on.
Yeah,
but it just failed miserably on that point, on that score. And as I said, making the plot around someone's bollocks, it's just not funny. It might be funny if you're 12 years old, but it's not funny in a film for older people. It's just not, unless you make more of it.
We're not talking about Chef from South Park, Brett. That was funny.
Yeah.
But we were
that's clever humor. This isn't clever. That was clever.
And they actually managed to get about 10 countries to get to number one.
Yeah.
Before anyone realised it was rude. But no, it was just, I felt let down by this because
I
again,
felt let down by
everyone
you.
involved in
I
it,
think we all did.
it's not the first time. I think everyone involved in it again is sort of a top shelf person. Sam Rockwell can play the shark in Jaws and it'll be a hit. You know what I mean? He's that sort of guy, and everyone. I guess everyone did what they came to do or what they were told to do, but I don't know if it's one of those ones where there's 20. I think the mistake in this one is maybe a lot of these films we see, there's like about 20 hours that have been cut out because they've done so much stuff and ad-libbed it over and all that. Whereas I think this went through in one or two takes. And when they got to the end, it was like, we haven't got enough here. So they padded it out with other things, maybe like some of the Rock
No,
Lord
there wasn't
scenes or
really much
whatever.
padding in it.
That's what I mean. But like, that's what I'm saying.
If
There
anything,
wasn't
it made it.
enough. They had core scenes and I think other bits were missing.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see, like at the writers' fair, like the social in the evening or something like that. And hello,
Hello. Don't know what
you're
happened,
right
but
there. You froze.
yeah, my internet went for some reason. Good old Virgin Media.
Uh,
Thanks for that. It's because I ignored their
all
phone
right,
call earlier.
that's it. They're like push the jammer button.
Yeah.
Right, Paul's just gone to check on one of his small people, and he will back. But I was just saying, yeah, the bit I ended up enjoying most out of it was just the progress, mate. He was having with his little cheap local production of the film. Where they're like on the dump and like
Yeah.
and using matey from School of Rock as the hero, who had a weird thing going on with his mum as well. And but yeah, it didn't really. As I say, I felt disappointed by it. It was one of those ones I hadn't seen. I thought, oh, this would be a good one. And
It had
most of
all.
the clips, most of the clips you see of it are all the Sam Rockwell bits as well. So you think, oh, it's going to be really surreal. But even most of that, if you add up his screen time, it's probably no more than 10 minutes,
Yeah, if
if
that, to be
that.
fair. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm pretty disappointed on that one. But yeah, Mm. But I guess then we move on to um our final opinions.
Yep.
So
Our verdicts, our
I'll start with
scores.
you, Damien.
Okay. Right. I am giving it one. I really despised it. I thought it was shit. I didn't laugh at all. There might have been a few bits where I might have smiled at something. It's getting a one purely based on the fact that there was a nice nod to the Kroll Cyclops. That's it.
Bernard
That's why it gets
Brethwell.
one. Yeah. So it gets a one from me. That's it. That's all I'm giving it. I despise it that much. I mean, Paul's made some comparisons to Greasy Strangler, but Greasy Strangler worked. It tried to gross you out, and it did gross you out.
Yeah,
It had the weird, ugly characters in it, but they also played funny. They were funny in their role, if you see what I mean. Whereas,
yeah,
um, yeah, everyone in this film is kind of, plain and not Hollywood in the film, not in the
yeah.
in the story thing. Um, but none of them have any redeeming qualities or are funny enough to carry it off. It just didn't work. And yes, you might say the plot, it's a great idea and this, that, and the other, but if it's a great idea, make it properly because they didn't. So it's a one.
So yeah. Now for me, it is. It's the mystery of what went wrong with this because um, busted. It's it's the mystery of what went wrong with this because all the pieces were in place.
Are we recording again?
Yep.
Yeah, we're just going for our verdicts. Damien's giving it a one. I'm just summing up mine now. Yeah, it's just a big disappointment. All the pieces are in place. Everyone done all right with what they had, but they didn't have that much. And it was, in all honesty, it was what he went to a writer's camp to meet his hero, showed him his novel, he ripped it off, and then in the end, it was all sorted. That's almost like a 20-minute kids' TV program. Actually, I think California Dreams may have even done an episode of that where the guy's song got ripped off. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's like another one in all those sorts of things, but this was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But that was how much plot there was. And like you say, the cool movie bits, I didn't mind, but it's mainly because it's Sam Rockwell. And like you say, the Bernard Bresslaw Cyclopses were pretty cool as well. But again, that was 6 minutes of screen time, probably the whole Sam Rockwell stuff, and it needed to be more to make us,
so
care
even if
about
there's some
the two versions of the stories.
Even if there's some flashbacks of Sam Rockwell as his dad, build up the story.
But I think they should have had it should have been like two stories going on at once, and the other one keeps changing depending on who's writing it, because we switched between the authors. I think that would have been good. And if you had a little Blu-ray feature,
do the old Princess Bride thing, where it's got Peter Falk reading, and then you'll see it, and it blends back into that, and then something like that to make it
something like that. Yeah, even as they're typing, sort of thing. Yeah, go through. But no, I'm not going to go much higher. I think I'll probably go. I'm going to go 3.
3.
Well, that is 300% higher. That is quite a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go 3, mainly because of the main guy, whose name I've forgotten now, but I thought he was very good, and I liked the dude from Nacho Libre trying to make his own film, and a little bit of Sam Rockwell and Jemaine Clement's kind of pulled it up a little bit just because they're pretty cool. But as a whole thing, nothing more than that, because I don't know, it just felt like so much was missing. I'm still disappointed in it. I was waiting to see this, and I'm ruined.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Yes, I'm going to give it a 2. So, like you, I think Michael Angarano, I think he did an alright job actually with the material that he had to work with, and then just another point for the little touches that popped up every now and again, i.e., the comic books to start with, the Cyclops, whatever the plural of Cyclops is, from Kral.
Cyclops Eye.
The little touches of like the Bluetooth headset just being in his ear, never using it. So there were some okay bits, but as we said, it wasn't gross enough, it wasn't funny enough, it wasn't demeaning enough to go that way. It was not clever enough. They just lacked any substance for anything to do with this film. But yeah, that's it too.
Okay, where does that leave it on the great chart, Damien?
It leaves it at the very bottom. It's on 6 points, so it's joint bottom with Death Ship. So
which, to be fair, was only half a real film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we have it. It scores a mighty 6. I think that's a generous 6, to be perfectly honest with you. But there, I don't want to. You've put your scores in now. I'm not going to try and influence it in any way, shape, or form. But I'm disappointed it's even got 6.
I wish I could get less. And if it was, if it was too stupid or too gross or too surreal, I probably would have marked it down, knowing me. But it was, as I said, just nothing burger. It was, so I'm giving it points for those two things. But yeah.
So I think it's the lowest mark I've ever given a film.
Particularly one of your own.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah,
it's not the low. I mean, you've given Death Ship 3, Class of '99 3, Space Hunter 3, and then you get into the 5.
Yeah, that's
so it's
that's still the lowest.
Yes,
that's still my lowest mark so far.
I think so. Although I can't remember what you. Because you didn't like Princess Bride, so did you give that any lower and we bumped it up? No, it doesn't
I
look
think
like
I gave it like 5 or a 6.
Yeah.
We gave you a low score for doing it though, Brett. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Look at...
No, you're right. You didn't mark it. I mean, to be fair, you gave Masters of the Universe 3 as well. So I mean, are you sure you don't want to revise your score for Gentlemen Broncos? Bearing in mind you've now you rate it as well highly as Masters of the Universe.
Yeah,
right,
I've been generous on that. But now we'll close it on that. And so as the door closes on one film, it opens on another. And is it Damien's choice or is it Paul's choice next? Is it Paul's choice?
Was it my choice?
Yeah, it's your choice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because many months ago, I chose Identity.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Have we watched that film? Okay, so I'm actually not going to go for anything highbrow. It's just a film that you guys haven't seen. I've been talking about it a lot. I think it's actually a good action sci-fi. It's Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow. Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt.
For fuck's sake!
Oh, Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
seriously,
and that's why I'm choosing it.
Veto.
No, seriously, it's Tom Cruise being an ass, and no one likes him.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm vetoing.
I'm
proud of my. I've only ever watched one Tom Cruise film, and I want to stick to it. So I'm vetoing it. The first ever veto, I think, has been pulled
in 130 odd episodes, and we both did it.
All right,
Tom Cruise veto.
You jump out of the frying pan, and Damien, you might jump into the oven. So if you veto that, I'm going to go into Stella.
Oh God, that's even...
Okay, well, what
supposedly one of the best sci-fi films. What did you say?
I said, yeah, but what film?
Oh, okay, yeah, so Interstellar. Again, another one of my go-to movies when it's me on a dark, lonely night. I don't want to waste 3 hours.
It's not 3 hours.
No, it's not 3 hours. No, it's like 2 and 59 minutes or something. But yeah, Matthew.
Moan at me.
McConaughey.
It might be one of those YouTube films where they do it in 10 minutes.
No, that's the whole point. You need to experience it. You need the music loud. It's got Michael Caine in it, doing his little poetry every now and again about the deep, dark night.
You're not selling it.
Is this the one?
Not selling it.
Is this the one where the aliens are dead at the end?
Huh?
Is this the one where the aliens are dead at the end?
Just watch it. As I said, I need to challenge you guys as much as you try and.
2 hours 49 minutes.
Oh,
yeah. So you've got a critically acclaimed film.
Wait, there it's not on anything.
It is. It's on everything.
It's only on now. It says.
It's on Sky. It's on Netflix. You have to buy it anyway. You do have Sky. It's on Virgin.
Yeah, but I haven't got Sky Movies. I refuse to pay their extortionate prices.
Are you really letting me go for that?
My internet. Say again?
Well, no, it's only on. It's only on now. Whatever now is.
It's got to be somewhere else, surely.
Well, just on Google, it says now.
All right, if you're not going to go for that, because we can't watch it, then I'm going to race Interstellar with Andy Weir's The Martian. Okay, now,
man, why do you hate us?
It's based on a great book and it's a great film.
No, ours is based on a great book, The 10 Commandments. I don't want to watch that either.
Brett,
The Martian is on
really
Disney.
Rubbish film that's got the lowest scores ever, as opposed to a critically acclaimed, probably Oscar-nominated film based on a best-selling novel. And for some reason, even though we're a cult podcast, you don't want to watch one of the best sci-fi films of this millennium.
Well, that's kind of the point.
Cult classic in years to come.
You reckon?
Yeah, but the idea is we shine the light on all the ones that are in the cracks and people.
No, we don't.
Right, no, it's fine. We've gone through 3. We did this. There it is, The Martian, and I'm only saying that because it's free to watch on iPlayer. Yeah, but it's free to watch on iPlayer.
Yeah, it's on Disney. It's Disney Plus as well.
Okay.
If you've got Disney Plus, it's on there. I'm just having a look now, and it's 2 hours and 31 minutes of pure enjoyment.
Yeah, what is it with you guys? Commit to the bit.
I've got solos to write. I've got solos to write and songs to re-record. 2.5 hours watching Matt Damon fart about in a spacesuit.
Don't make me do Lord of the Rings on you.
Is this the one that used to be an Outer Limits episode, and then they made it into a big film?
There's an Andy Weir novel.
Yeah, but it was Outer Limits years before that.
Oh yeah, but Outer Limits have done basically every story.
You can map pretty much anything back to Outer Limits if you tried, or the Twilight Zone, one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So next week, just to confirm, after our little bitch fight, it is The Martian that stars Matt Damon. It's 2 hours and 31 minutes. It's on Disney Plus, and what did you say, Damon? iPlayer.
And iPlayer, yeah. So if you're in the UK,
on iPlayer.
On iPlayer.
In the UK, if you're abroad, it'll be on something else.
Be on something.
So that'll be our next episode.
Player.
Yeah, you two. Yeah, honestly,
yeah, I'm full on sulking, Paul. I am. I'm full on sulking. I don't care what you say.
I'm asking you to watch a really good film that I've seen countless times because it's so good.
Yeah, but everyone knows this film.
You don't know it. This is my point.
No, we know of it.
We know it's there.
My job is to
Chariots
you
of
guys
Fire
as well.
I'm not watching it.
You vetoed Live, Die, Repeat, even though I think you'd probably enjoy that if you get past the Tom Cruise thing. So, The Martian. There we go.
Okay.
My
favourite Martian, and it's next week. And it stars Bill Bixby and Rainier. Right. Okay, so we've got what's it called? The Martian.
Don't watch Interstellar for Christ's
next week. I've got to get it right. I'm going to get the right one.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have that next week. And also next week, we'll have the first appearance of TV Court, where I bring something to court that
does that mean I need to watch
have
that
a sentence passed on it.
There'd be no harm in it.
One. Yeah. Well, watch it anyway. It's good.
No point in me telling
it's still a good show, but I want you guys to see why I need to bring it to TV Court.
And which episode is it? The first episode?
It's the first episode of the latest season.
All right.
Yeah, which is
it's got
3 or was that 2?
Punt or Dennis in it. 3, I think now.
Yeah.
Is it? It's either Punt or Dennis. It's got him in it.
All right.
Well, it's Hugh Dennis or the Steve Punt. Hugh Dennis is the one that does all the panel shows, and Steve Punt you never really see anymore.
No.
Yeah, the panel show one. I think it's him.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he was a dentist in something as well. Was he a dentist in that one where Father Dude was a superhero?
Well, he's a GP in that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It might be that one.
He was a dentist in the Ardell O'Hanlon superhero thing.
Superman thing. Yeah,
I don't know what it was called.
I think it was. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
and yes, he's in Not Going Out as well, where he plays a GP.
That's right.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm just catching up on the conversation because there was 2 people talking at the same time, so I'm just,
It's almost like you're on a different, almost like you're on a different planet, like Mars, waiting for the signal to get to you, and there's going to be a delay in response getting back to you.
Yeah.
You guys have got all this to look forward to when you watch Martian.
Star Trek do that as well.
Probably.
Over. What, Brett?
Didn't Star Trek do that as well? And then when they got there, the signals were like 100 years old and they'd already died, but he was still talking to her because
probably it rings a bell. Yeah.
Anyway, right then. So it's time to initiate our shutdown procedure. I can't remember what it is now. Yeah,
website.
To keep updated with all our podcasts and all the different things we've done, you can check out our mothership at
cultfaction.com.
I'm just going to point because you're all in different places.
The thing is, we can't even see your finger anyway.
Get out of your bugger. Cultfaction.com. If you need to email us to tell us what we've done right, what we've done wrong, what bit we've missed out, or anything else, you can contact us at.
We can email us at cultfashionpodcast@mail.com. There we go.
But don't forget to always leave the comments.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Please like, subscribe, and enable notifications on YouTube. And if you're listening on your podcast things, you can get us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the other podcast devices. Where if you can leave a rating review, that would really help us jump up the charts. And again,
and if you've got a
YouTube,
suggestion for a film as well.
Sorry, so in the comments section of this one, if you want to start a campaign in the next week to change the film so that we watch something else, please feel free to do so, because we've got 2 weeks to record our next episode. So if you get something going now,
maybe just come up with a better one for the following week. Because no one likes mine at the moment.
Save the Cult Podcast too.
I'm going to come up with one from the late. Oh, I've already picked what I'm going to come up with next. You want Cult? I'll give you Cult.
Okay. So, anyway, this was the Cult Faction Podcast, episode 135, Gentlemen Broncos. I was your host, Brett Summers, and I was joined by
Damien
Hawkins. Yeah, that doesn't go to any of us.
No. I think we got the message.
But yeah, anyway, it's been chaos. We're online now. We'll see what happens next week. See you soon.
Sayonara.
Superman.